捻一叶菩提香，阅读觉诸佛智慧海。阅读星云大师著作《星云说喻》，聆听大师如何以简短的譬喻故事，巧妙引导大众以智慧克服生活的困境，得到解脱自在。本系列故事分别中文及英文读诵，由香海文化执行长妙运法师中文诵读，人间佛教研究院副院长妙光法师以英文诵读。
Offering a bun. Once upon a time, there lived a disciple of Buddha named Ajita. He was one of the 18 arhats, known as the arhat with long eyebrows. Ajita was revered for his supernatural powers and limitless spiritual abilities. According to Buddhist texts, he still lives in the world today, possibly over 2,600 years old. Ajita was a wise and compassionate monk who lived a simple life, following Buddha's teaching closely. He spent his days meditating and helping others whenever he could. He believed that every person had the potential to attain enlightenment and live a life of happiness and contentment. One day, Ajita went out to beg for alms in a nearby village, as was the custom of monks in ancient India. He walked through the streets with his alms bowl, hoping to receive some food from the kind-hearted people of the village. As he walked, he came across a food store where a woman was selling buns. The woman selling the buns saw Ajita, but pretended to be busy and ignored him. Ajita stepped forward to make sure the woman noticed him, but she responded unhappily. "Hey monk, don't stand in front of my store. You are blocking my business. Go stand over there." Without saying a word, Ajita joined his palms, stepped aside, and sat down, closing his eyes to meditate. Seeing this, the woman became worried, thinking to herself, "What's happening here? He seems not to be moving at all. What if he dies here? I'll be in trouble with the authorities." In a panic, she yelled, "Hey, wake up! Wake up! I'll give you a bun." Upon hearing this, Ajita immediately opened his eyes and stood up. The woman, seeing that Ajita was perfectly fine, changed her mind and thought, "Do I have to give him a bun? I really don't want to." Then she had an idea and silently muttered to herself, "I know, I'll just make a smaller bun. The size of a dumpling would be perfect." Ajita, who knew exactly what the woman was thinking, decided to use his powers to teach her a lesson. As the woman prepared the small bun, he made sure it stuck to the bigger buns on the left and right. When the woman saw that the small bun was sticking to the bigger buns next to it, she tried to separate them, becoming more and more anxious. She pulled and stretched the buns with all her might, but could not separate them. Feeling exhausted, the woman sighed and said, "All right, fine. You can have all of these." Ajita smiled and nodded, happily receiving the buns. As he was about to leave, he said, "Madam, I am a monk who has attained the fruit of arhatship. Even if I do not eat, I will not starve to death. I have supernatural powers that can help me sustain my body and feast on the joy of meditation. However, some of my fellow monks are not in good health. They are unable to leave the monastery to beg for alms. so I will bring these buns back to them. Once they regain their energy, they can continue their spiritual practice. On their behalf, I thank you." Upon hearing this, the woman was moved and said joyfully, "Since that's the case, let me give you some more buns." She packed all her remaining buns and with her palms joined, said, "Please accept my offering. I am very sorry for being rude to you earlier." Ajita gracefully accepted the woman's offering and thanked her, saying, "Thank you so much. By making an offering with a joyful heart, you have accumulated great merit and virtues that will bring you blessings in the future." The news of the woman's act of generosity spread quickly throughout the village, and many people were inspired by her example. They began to give with a joyful heart, and soon the whole community was transformed. People who used to be selfish and greedy began to share their wealth with those in need, and the village became known for its spirit of generosity and kindness. Years passed, and the woman grew old and eventually passed away. It was said that she had accumulated so many merits from her joyful giving that she was reborn in heaven, surrounded by the fruits of her good deeds. Her descendants prospered, and the village continued to thrive. This story highlights the significance of joyful giving. When one gives with a joyful heart, they cultivate a positive attitude and generate positive energy. This can lead to a sense of satisfaction and fulfillment, inspiring others to give and creating a positive cycle of generosity and goodwill. Giving with a joyful heart can increase one's blessings and merits. Therefore, those who practice joyful giving are considered to be the wealthiest people in the world. The more one practices joyful giving, the more one is blessed with merits. Just as Venerable Master Xing Yun says, "Greed cannot make fortune. Joyful giving can bring many blessings. Be modest when benefiting others. Modesty helps liberate sentient beings."
罗汉与包子。在18罗汉当中，有一位罗汉眉毛很长，被称为长眉罗汉。长眉罗汉神通广大，法力无边。根据经典记载，他现在还活在世间呢，算一算岁数，应该也有2600多岁了。有一天，长眉罗汉出外托钵乞食，在街头碰到一个妇人卖包子，便站到了他的身旁，想向他化缘。卖包子的妇人看了，心里很不高兴，做事要将他赶走，并且出口说：“你这个出家人站旁边去，不要妨碍我做生意啊！”长眉罗汉于是走到一旁，就地坐了下来，双眼一闭就入定了。妇人见状，不知道这是打坐入定，心里想：不得了了，万一他死在这里怎么办啊？我会给官员治罪的呀！他心里一慌张，赶快就说：“你醒来吧，你醒醒吧，我愿意给你一颗包子啊！”长眉罗汉听到妇人的话，立刻睁开眼睛站了起来。眼见长眉罗汉好端端的样子，妇人这下又不甘心了，心里想：我偏不要给你大包子，我就弄个水饺大小的小包子给你就好了。长眉罗汉知道他的心意，就施展了一个小小的神通法力，让妇人做的小包子一下子粘到左边的大包子，一下子又碰到右边的大包子。妇人看到这样的情况，心里很着急，双手便使劲的要把大小包子分离，但是不论他怎么使力都无法分开。 到最后妇人已经精疲力尽，就说哎呀，算了算了，包子通通给你吧。长眉罗汉开心地拿了包子就要走，临走前他说，这位妇人，我是个正果的阿罗汉，我就算不吃饭也不会饿死，我有神通法力，能以禅悦为食，只是我的同道们身体不好，不能出来托钵化缘，所以只好由我带几个包子回去给他们吃。他们气力充足了，就可以安心办道。这个妇人一听，颇受感动啊，他就心生欢喜地说，那既然是这样，那我就多送几个包子给你吧。长眉罗汉接受了妇人供养的包子，离开的时候向妇人道谢，就说，你用欢喜心把东西布施给人，将来会有大功德的。后来这个妇人呢，果然因为当初的欢喜布施而升到天上，享受天福了。佛教讲究喜舍，欢喜布施能增加福德，一个人越是喜舍，就越有福报。所以时时怀着欢喜心布施结缘的人，是世界上最富有的人。
更多内容欢迎典藏星云大师全集以及系列著作。感谢您的收听，我们下次见。
我看花自缤紛，我看樹自婆娑，卻隨